Jordan conceals Sharon while Victor and Nick threaten a cynical Ian. When Mariah and Tessa get to Sharon's house and see Faith, they are relieved. The house is surrounded by guards. Because their mother never shows up at society, Faith is in a panic. Mariah reassures her that while they are all worried, they must maintain their composure and avoid drawing any hasty judgments. Faith is adamant that something is amiss. She storms about the room, speculating about the worst-case situations and yelling at them for not protecting Sharon. Tessa soothes them by pointing out that placing blame on one another won't lead to Sharon's location. Mariah acknowledges that this situation is made worse by seeing the man who groomed her. Somehow he must be involved. She blurts out, "He's capable of anything," which almost brings Faith to tears. He doesn't seem like the kind of person who would suddenly show up to save her life, according to Tessa. Mariah exclaims, "What a crazy coincidence," and demands to know every single detail of what transpired. Faith panics in front of Tessa and Mariah YNR. Tessa acknowledges that it's all a bit of a haze as they sat together. When Ian arrived, he attempted to book a table for two. She felt dizzy. When eating didn't help, she stepped outside to catch her breath and began to gasp. Before she knew it, Ian had arrived with an inhaler and was assisting her in breathing. "Tessa is lucky," says Faith. Mariah finds all of this a bit too handy. While her wife is certain that this was not a random act, Tessa questions whether the gasping was simply a panic attack. Perhaps Ian spared her life to prove to her that he had changed? Faith remarks, "He does sound a little religious." Mariah is certain that there is a hidden motive, but she is unable to identify it. They just know that Sharon has left and Ian is present. Her mom is really in trouble if those things are related. Tess and Mariah discuss Ian's threat to YNR. Jordan tells Ian that Sharon is securely concealed in the car when she gets back to her room at the Red Door Motel. Until she is rid of, he will not be content. She must appear to have been driven off the road and into a watery grave, Ward reminds her. The important thing is that it appears to be poetic retribution for what she did to Heather. They can blame Phyllis for this in this way. Jordan says she won't take on any more work for him unless he starts doing the same after he has had a drink. He reminds her that he got her out of jail, and he finds it bothersome that she doesn't appreciate that. Jordan questions how many more corpses they must accumulate before she receives her share of the exchange. Ian sits down and tells her that they are almost there and that she should have some faith. When he saw Mariah's face, he sensed that. She experienced the same emotion when seeing Claire once more. He believes they will regain the love of Mariah and Claire. However, they will have to make amends for the suffering they inflicted if they are unable to. She leans forward to remind them of their agreement. She exclaims, "Crisscross, Ian, crisscross." Jordan and Ian quarrel over their agreement. YNR. Cole is sitting at the bar of the Neil Winters Jazz Lounge, lost in thought. Victoria enters and asks why he left their champagne and caviar-filled room. He says he came down for a nightcap since he couldn't sleep and is quite happy that she's doing well. He's relieved she's awake since he could use her counsel when she joins him. He is upset by her father's offer for him to lead Newman Publishing. The offer flatters him because it's his ideal career, being able to edit and work in literature is exactly what he wants. He's hesitant, though. Why is he so unsure, she asks. Cole acknowledges that he is inclined to decline. Victoria doesn't comprehend. He explains that he finds the entire corporate thing to be poisonous. It may be, she acknowledges, but it can also be fulfilling. She reminds out that he always finds time to write, which answers his question about how he would manage to do so. It is a part of who he is, Cole reflects. The subject keeps coming back to how difficult it would be to work for her father. Cole isn't sure he can handle being under his control. Cole and Victoria talk about his job offer. YNR. Victoria is aware of the difficulties and dangers associated with working with Victor. She informs Cole that since they will be working in the same building, they will have more opportunities to interact. Additionally, she tells him that suffering need not last forever. He is free to leave the employment if he doesn't like it. He is not supposed to be Victor's daughter or an extension of him. Nothing will alter Victoria's emotions for Cole, she tells him. He fears Victor would turn against them and contaminate their possessions. He never imagined living in the city with her and their daughter a year ago. For him, this has been a miracle that has greatly improved his quality of life. Being employed by Victor may ruin that. Her father has a history of meddling in other people's lives, particularly hers. Victoria tells him that she can push back when it's worth it and that she's accustomed to that. It has also been a miracle for her to find Cole again. She begs him not to use that as an excuse because she would fight fiercely for it. Cole appreciates all of her assurances, but he is still unsure about the position. They begin kissing till they decide it's time to go upstairs after she informs him they work as a team. Victor and Nick give his security guard, Mortensen, instructions to find Ian at the Newman Ranch. No matter how many men it takes, he doesn't care. They locate him and take him to the property. Nick wants to go out and seek after Mortensen leaves, but his father tells him that's not the right thing to do. They won't know what to do until they understand Ian's motivations. Ian appeared arrogant, but Nick clarifies that he was concealing it with repentance. Victor thinks all of this is an old scam. It's a combination of insanity, power hunger, and ego. It's a risky mixture. Nick paces, speculating that Ian might have tampered with Sharon's prescription drugs. He could get all the answers they require if he could spend 5 minutes by himself with that man. His father dismisses that notion and questions Ian's decision to emerge from the shadows at this time. Both of them are certain that nothing here is random. Victor and Nick talk about Ian returning to YNR. Jordan ties Sharon to some pipes and leads her down to the sewers. "You ought to be thankful that you are not at the bottom of the river." "Not yet, at least," she says. She tells an unconscious Sharon that she's fortunate not to receive alcohol and Brussels sprouts as she unpacks some items. "Fix your sleep, princess," Jordan says. She thinks that until she receives the guarantees she requires from her boyfriend, Sharon will be her insurance policy. After she leaves, Sharon gradually awakens and makes a help call. In sewer YNR, Jordan cuffs Sharon. Ian is back in his motel room, staring at his phone, when someone knocks on the door. Through the peephole, he can see Mortensen, Victor's guy, standing there and beckoning to him. Ian is brought to the ranch by Mortensen to confront the Newmans. They have been anticipating him, according to Victor. According to Ward, his prayers have been heard. Victor smiles. Ian maintains that he has changed and is making amends for his transgressions after being ordered to sit. "What's up with the alias?" says Nick. According to Ward, the negative connotations associated with his name prevented him from carrying out God's will. He is committed to making things right, especially with Mariah. Victor becomes sarcastic as a result, but Ian reiterates that he is committed to making amends. Nick demands to know where Sharon is, towering above him. Ian acts as though he doesn't know who Sharon is or what happened to her, which infuriates him. He continues by saying that the Lord summoned him to rescue Tessa's life tonight when he was at Society. He must leave Genoa City right away, the mustache advises. He will pursue him if he doesn't. Ian is taken to the YNR property in Newman. He challenges Ian, who is doubtful, to give him a go. Ward gets to his feet and notes that Nick openly threatened him and that the police are aware that he is back in town. They also have a letter accusing the Newmans of being responsible for his fate. Nicky descends the stairs as he reiterates that he merely wishes to demonstrate that his motives are noble. When she sees Ian, she gasps and demands to know why he is there. She closes her robe when he says she's just as gorgeous as ever. Victor leads Ian out the door and assures him that he is not concerned about his letter to the police. He tells him to leave because he is certain that he is merely a scammer. Ian says he will pray for him as he leaves. Mortensen is told to follow Ward by Victor. Nicky asks her husband why Ward has returned, and he returns to his wife and son. Victor promises to bury Ian as soon as he makes a mistake, and Nick gets her water. Jordan concerns when Ian isn't present when he returns to the motel. He shows up a few moments later. She acknowledges that she questioned whether he had left town. He adds that he was personally invited to see Victor at the property and that their job had only just begun. "It went as I expected," he replies, laughing. Sharon is exactly where she's supposed to be, she responds when he asks if she has followed his instructions and placed Sharon in the bottom of the river. The long-running and beloved soap opera The Young and the Restless continues to captivate audiences with its intricate plots, powerful characters, and emotional roller coasters. In one of the most riveting storylines, Victor and Nick Newman find themselves squaring off against the manipulative Ian Ward, while Sharon Collins grapples with the fallout of her tumultuous life, complicated further by the surprising actions of Jordan. Let's dive into the details of this gripping saga. Victor and Nick threaten Ian Ward. The Newman family is synonymous with power and resilience in Genoa City. Victor Newman, the patriarch, has always been a force to be reckoned with. Known for his unyielding determination to protect his family and legacy, Victor's confrontation with Ian Ward is no exception. Ian Ward, a cunning and malevolent figure, has plagued the Newmans on multiple occasions. This time, Ian's cocky demeanor and underhanded schemes have pushed Victor and his son Nick to the brink. Ian's return to Genoa City brings chaos, as he attempts to exploit vulnerabilities within the Newman family. Whether through manipulation, blackmail, or outright threats, Ian's methods are as audacious as they are dangerous. The tension comes to a head when Victor and Nick confront Ian at Newman Enterprises. Victor, ever the master strategist, does not mince words. His steely glare and commanding presence are enough to intimidate even the boldest adversaries. "You've crossed the line for the last time," Victor growls, his voice dripping with menace. Nick, standing beside his father, adds fuel to the fire. Unlike Victor's calculated approach, Nick's anger is raw and unfiltered. He accuses Ian of exploiting the family's personal struggles for his own gain. Ian, true to form, smirks at their threats. His cocky attitude only serves to infuriate Victor and Nick further. "You think you can scare me?" Ian taunts, leaning back as if enjoying the show. But behind the bravado, Ian knows that crossing the Newmans comes with consequences. Victor's reputation for ruthlessly dismantling his enemies is well earned, and Nick's protective instincts for his family make him equally formidable. The confrontation escalates when Victor delivers a chilling ultimatum. "Leave Genoa City," he warns, "or I will make sure you regret ever stepping foot here." Ian's smile falters for a moment, but his arrogance quickly returns. For Ian, the Newmans' threats are just another challenge to overcome. However, as the scene unfolds, it becomes clear that Victor and Nick are not bluffing. They're prepared to go to any lengths to neutralize Ian's threat, even if it means playing dirty. Sharon's struggles and Jordan's role. Meanwhile, Sharon Collins finds herself embroiled in her own turmoil. Sharon has always been a complex character, battling mental health issues, relationship woes, and a history of questionable decisions. Her recent struggles have left her vulnerable, and Jordan's unexpected involvement only complicates matters further. Jordan, a charming yet enigmatic figure, has a history with several residents of Genoa City. His connection to Sharon begins innocuously enough but soon takes a darker turn. Sharon's vulnerability makes her an easy target for manipulation, and Jordan's motives are anything but clear. While he initially appears to offer support and understanding, it becomes evident that Jordan has his own agenda. When Sharon finds herself in trouble, Jordan's actions raise eyebrows. He takes it upon himself to hide Sharon, ostensibly to protect her from those who wish her harm. However, his decision to isolate Sharon from her friends and family raises questions about his true intentions. Is he genuinely trying to help, or is he exploiting Sharon's vulnerability for his own gain? As Sharon's loved ones search for her, tensions rise. Nick, who shares a complicated history with Sharon, is particularly distraught. He confronts Jordan, demanding answers. Jordan's evasive responses only deepen Nick's suspicions. "Where is she?" Nick demands, his voice filled with desperation. Jordan, unflinching, replies, "She's safe, and that's all you need to know." The situation takes a dramatic turn when Sharon begins to question Jordan's motives herself. While initially